Hi everybody, welcome to today's Naked Truth. I hope you can hear me okay. This is my first time doing the Naked Truth from my new setup. And what I mean by new setup is my brand new rig and 2 PC setup. Yay, thank you so much Alienware for my new gaming rig. Hashtag Alienware Hive. Woot woot. But yeah, so this is my first time doing it in quite a while. I have posted other fun videos like mixed reality slash VR dancing to Space Channel 5. And what else did I posted something else recently. Like, I even forget what it is. Let's see if I can find it. What else did I post recently? I posted, my Outriders gameplay from the event that I went to. So I'm trying to post a bunch of different stuff on here, but it has been a while since I've done a Naked Truth. So here we are. I hope everyone is appropriately social distancing and washing hands for 20 seconds and all that good stuff that we're supposed to do. So welcome. All right, let me get that out of here and get this out of here and make sure I can see all of your lovely chat. So I did today as an AMA because I was like, well, should we talk about coronavirus misinformation? And everyone on the Discord was like, please, anything but that. So I was like, totally get it. And I, for me, I'm like, wow, well, we're social distancing. So that just means I'm going to play more video games and binge watch Netflix and read the comic books I need to catch up on, etc., etc. Or Naked Truth stream to YouTube. So here we are. Hi, everybody. And yeah, I thought I'd do an AMA just as a hangout because I thought, I could pick a topic. And there were some really lovely ones suggested in the Naked Truth channel of the Discord. But so a lot of the ones that were suggested I've either already done because, man, this show's been going for a long time. Or I was like, I could do like fun things to do indoors, but I feel like what I would say are the things that I just said. Read comic books, play video games, and binge watch stuff you've been missing on Netflix. Hi, everybody. I see Janny. I see Tunerific. Oh, it has been a while. So far safe from this whole craze, fingers crossed. We're just trying to not go places that are high traffic areas and wash our hands and all that good stuff. I hope you guys are doing the same. Wolfman, I do have a Switch, and yes, the Switch is perfect for this. So I thought I'd open it up to an AMA to see, I don't know, if there's anything I haven't answered. I'm getting to the point with this series where, kind of like we felt like with Table Talk back in the day on SourceFed, that it's like, I've talked everything to death. There's nothing left to talk about except for news, which is always new. But as far as just like life stories and stuff like that, like I've talked a lot about it, and I guess I could always do updates on stuff of topics we visited before, but I don't know. I feel like I've run out of stuff. So what do you guys want to talk about? We're just hanging out today. Guillermo, has Logan started to be a picky eater yet? Yes and no. This morning he said cantaloupe was yuck stinky. So all of a sudden he doesn't like cantaloupe, but he eats a lot of stuff. He's a pretty cool dude about that. What were your thoughts on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? I did not see it yet because Nate doesn't want to see it. And on the rare occasion that we actually get a sitter and could go somewhere, coronavirus stuff aside, we try to find things that we both want to see. And I have not seen it. So it's going to have to be something that I see by myself. Dre, love you right back. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Thank you, Anime Hero. I'm sending our best right back at you. Oh man, Garth says, I spent 12 days in the hospital with painful shingles and they almost sent me home with my painful shingles. But hey, now they are canceling follow-up appointments because they want me to stay at home. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I hope you have plenty of things to distract you online at home so you don't have to think about it. Cat Ninja says, what's up, my ninja? What's up, you, my ninja? Let's see. Drowbert is asking, what can you tell us about what happened to Lee Newton? The only thing I can say is what I've said before, and it's not even like that I can say because I'm not beholden to any legal contracts like a lot of other people closely involved with it are. The only thing that I will say is that it really sucks when friends have disagreements, and when you go into business with your friends, there's always that chance that like personal disagreements could go into your business, and I think that's what happened here. And I told them all I don't want to know exactly what happened because I want to stay friends with all of them, and they're all very important to me. They were all at my wedding. I was at all of their weddings. I love them all dearly, and I hope that someday they all make up. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, people in real life has to have disagreements, and I think it's hard because when you are in a very public friendship or romantic relationship or any kind of relationship, when that breaks up, it's like it could be very hard, I think, to find the words to explain to everybody why that breakup happened. And I do not envy them being in that position, any of them, really. And I think they all said what they were allowed to say. But that's it. Yes, so far, all of us are safe and well. I've been streaming to my Twitch channel more than I normally do because I'm stuck inside. Let's see. Michael King, good to see you. Tunerific says, I work in retail. It's been crazy so far. Thankfully, I have this weekend off so I can breathe a bit. Good for you. Yeah, that's what I was like, dude, stores are doing crazy good business right now. Everybody else's business is in the pooper with no toilet paper. But the stores, they're doing great. Even says, really enjoyed the Ori playthrough. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I totally want to do a full playthrough of that game if I can beat it. Ori and the Blind Forest was very difficult to beat, but I did it eventually, so fingers crossed I'll be able to do it. I need to figure out how to get past the part we're at right now. How's the new computer, Rob K? It's amazing. So I should be streaming right now in 1080p. You'll have to double check and see, but I should be streaming in 1080p, and having no buffering issues. It should be beautiful for you. It's the first time I've been able to stream 1080-30 on Twitch completely without any question, which is really cool. Wolfman, I'm surviving the apocalypse well so far. How are you surviving it? Am I disappointed about E3 this year, says Jeremy Coleman. Yes, I am disappointed about E3 for a multitude of reasons, because I'm worried that we might never have an E3 again now that everyone's probably just going to go digital for stuff, and E3 was not in a great place anyway before that. But I understand why it had to be done, because people come in from all over the world and then gather in downtown LA where there's a huge homeless crisis, and it's the perfect way for this thing to spread. So I get it. Thank you for the super chat. Cyclops TB says, thanks for doing this because Aladdin Broadway was canceled due to Manhattan being shut down. I know. I was supposed to see Hamilton on Thursday, and Thursday at 1 o'clock they canceled the show. I no joke, called at 9 a.m. and I was like, is Hamilton still on? They were like, yeah. Called at 12. Is Hamilton still on? Totally. 1:15, I see the update that Hamilton has been closed for the night. Again, I get it. It's important to stop the spread of this thing, but oh, my heart. I've been trying to see that show for years. Chris says I keep losing shifts next week because of the pandemic. Yeah, all of the... Guillermo says, do you still do casting calls for movie and TV acting or mainly hosting gigs? Oh, for me personally, mainly hosting. Every now and then I'll do an acting one, but the hosting is my more comfortable and more fun spot now, almost. So, not to say that I wouldn't take an acting job, but I enjoy hosting because of the subject matter that I mostly get to host about, which is really, really fun. Let's see. Am I going to do a Twitch playthrough of Last of Us 2? Tommy Doyle. Dude, I don't know. That game's real scary. I don't play a lot of real scary games because they freak me out. And if I scream, Logan's room is right back there and I don't want to wake him up. So I don't know. Maybe is the answer to that. Excited for Animal Crossing next week. I am. I've actually never played an Animal Crossing game. So if I can get through Ori in time and get through Disco Elysium and finish it before Final Fantasy VII Remake, then yes. That's the problem right now. Let's see. Cat and Ninja says, what is one positive thing that has happened to you today? My little dude was adorable. He's been like a giggle fest all day. He has a runny nose, but other than that, he has a giggle fest all day, which has been really, really nice. 720p is max. Oh, man, really? I'll have to check what my settings are. It might be 720. Because like I said, this is the first time I've streamed to YouTube from this setup. It should be 1080, but that's all right. I'll double check it after the stream. But solid stream on 720. That's cool. Wolfman says, don't touch your face. I'm in my own house and I wash my hands for 20 seconds. So I feel like now I can touch my face all I want because I'm in my space. Let's see. Have I acted in any movies? Yes, I have. I have acted in some very, very bad movies. I feel like when everyone starts out their acting career, it's like, any job I can get. Yes, I'm just so excited to have a job. And I was definitely one of those people. And of course, I wasn't too good for anything. I'd just gotten out of college with my acting degree and was like, anything, you want me to put on a Barney suit and be Barney? I will do that job. As long as it pays and I get to keep my clothes on, I will take that job. So I, had no problem laughing at myself. So I took a lot of real bad horror movies that are out there If you look at my IMDb, you can find them. I think one of them's even for sale on Amazon, and that one was maybe the worst one I've ever done. I feel like I should have like a live stream watch along of that because it's so bad. And then you could get my commentary all throughout it. But yeah, I've been in some real bad movies. Michael King says Fry's was crazy yesterday. That's surprising. Everyone needed their electronics for staying at home. Okay, let's see. All your university teaching is moving online. Yep. A lot of my shows, it'll be really interesting to see if they continue or how they continue, because obviously there's like my Twitch and my YouTube that I produce here out of my home studio. And currently I'm doing a show for Fandom that I produce out of my home studio. So provided they're all still up and running, that should be fine. But the Dungeon Rundown and my Newegg shows that I do and Kingston, I film all at their studio out of office. So we'll see what happens. I might lose all my jobs too. And then you'll see me streaming 5 days a week. Watch, then if that continues for like 6 months, and I'll be like, I know I said I wasn't going to make a Patreon, but here we go. Because I always said I'll only make a Patreon if I lose all my other sources of income. So maybe coronavirus will do that. I don't know. But yeah, my Fandom show should still be fine. And at least I know this month we're still filming DIY and 5 for Kingston. We'll see. Do I think they'll post a new day for E3? No, Super Panda Punch, I don't. From all the rumors I'd been hearing in the industry, E3 was not looking that great this year anyway. There were talks that they were going to try to make it a music festival, like a music festival that also had gaming, which I thought was a super weird combo. I know that there is like a Venn diagram crossover of the music industry and video games, but I don't know that people who really like to play video games like at home also like to go to big concerts. At least I don't. I can't be around that many people in that kind of environment. It gives me a little bit of anxiety. So I don't know. Yes, the Final Fantasy VII remake is only for the Midgar portion of Final Fantasy VII. I did a video for my Fandom series on it. But yeah, so I think they're going to go more in depth for sure. And hopefully they'll make more of them. Big Appa says, now my daughter is 18 and in college and my son is 15, learning to drive and turn 16 next month. You have big kids. That's crazy. I'm sure to you they're still your babies. 2020 is good so far, James Wisdom. It's good to see you. How's your 2020 so far? My January was crazy busy. And it was so busy that stress caused me to get really bad acid reflux that is in my throat that I didn't know about until it made me lose my voice. And it damaged my vocal cords. So since early February, I've been on a lot of vocal rest and a whole bunch of like acid reflux meds to try to calm down what's going on in my throat so that my voice comes back. And it's not 100% back yet, but it's definitely getting there, which is great. But February and March have been a little slower work-wise for me, so it's given me the chance to like rest up and heal and do what I need to do. I'm glad, Tommy Doyle, that the Ori stream was a lot of fun for you. I want to keep doing that. I love those games. I get addicted to hard platformers like that. Garth says, I remember you showing scenes from the Driller movie on SourceFed. Oh man, did I show them? That's funny. Death from Beyond, I think, is my worst movie that I've ever been in, but Driller's pretty funny too. Fry's is also a supermarket, Michael King. I didn't know that. I thought Fry's was only electronics. That's what I go to Fry's for, so... I was in a Daft Punk video, that's true, Jig. Evan Stevens says, a lot of Reddit has been commenting on being happy that everyone is stuck inside. Do you feel the current shut-in situation is beneficial for social interactions or not, and why? I think it is what it is. I think there are some people who are going to find a lot of comfort in being asked to stay home, at least in the beginning. I don't know if we'll all feel that way if this goes on for 6 weeks or 12 weeks or, however long this goes on for. I think people might start to feel stir crazy. For me, I'll probably start to feel stir crazy. Like, I don't mind staying home. In fact, I like staying home. It gives me the opportunity to catch up on a lot of my hobbies that I don't often indulge in. That being said, I'm stuck at home with a toddler, which means that I can't necessarily indulge in all the things that I want to indulge in because I have to take care of my toddler. So maybe being just stuck at home, like full-time mommying, first 6 or 12 weeks might drive me crazy. For me, it hits a little harder that I'm like, oh man, if I wanted to take him to the zoo, or I wanted to take him to Disney, or I wanted to take him to like the bounce house near us or something like that, I can't. That starts making me feel like my options are being taken away from me, because they are, and that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Let's see. Tunerific says, this isn't really a question, but I wanted to get your thoughts on the possibility of studios to do some premieres on platforms such as Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon, with cinemas being less frequented. I love that idea a lot, mostly because I'm a parent that has to stay at home. Like, I'm stuck in the house. He goes to bed at 8, and then I'm stuck in the house after that. So I would love to go out and see a movie, but I can't leave him home alone, even though he's sleeping. So if they can let me stream it at home, that is A+ for parent life. So I'm all about that. Jeremy Coleman says, I've rewatched your appearance on Temptation. What question was the hardest? Temptation is a game show I was on a few times, and it was not a sexy game show. Anytime I say I was on something called Temptation, people think it's like Temptation Island, like a dating thing. It was not. It's a shopping show. You answer trivia to earn money, and then they try to tempt you with good deals on stuff. I don't know. There were a lot of really hard questions, and that was a long time ago, so I don't remember what question was my hardest. I just remember choosing my strategy of like, you could either save all your money you get from trivia to be the big winner of the episode to go on to like the final showcase, or you can buy the things they tempt you with, and then you definitely get to go home with them. So it's like, go for the all or nothing approach, or go for the like get whatever I can get now approach. And I went for the get whatever I can get now approach. So I left with tons of prizes every time I was on, even though I was like second place every episode I was on. I felt good about that strategy. Let's see. It's good for us introverts. It says Kazdal62. I like my house, so I'm cool staying in a lot of times. I like being home. James Wisdom says, it's been a disaster, if I'm honest, for you. Super stressed, super overworked, but at least with Corvid canceling lectures, it will give me time to finally finish my thesis and get that off my plate. Oh, your 2020 has been super stressful lately. You can lounge out now, totally. Online school is an option for people. Nate's working from home now. His studio told him they have, I think, voluntary work from home. And since his commute's really long, it's just easier for him to work from home anyway. So we're doing that. Todd Bergman says, I have 49 years of experience social distancing. I know, I think a lot of us feel that way. Chris says, I can't stay at home if I want to be productive. And I think that's it. I think when you're stuck at home, but you're used to going out to do all the stuff that feels productive, then you might get in a rut where you feel like you can't be productive because you're at home. But I mean, we can all fight that as much as we can. It's just changing our mindset, but I totally get it. Let's see. Rate my D&D characters, says Sushi Cat-san. Turtle Fighter with protection style. Battle Master with Shield Master feat. I'm all about that tank, baby. Get it. Via Tank Turtle. I love that. I love that. That's an awesome character. What's your background? Tell us. Have I been to this store yet to see how empty they are? No, I had to go to a pharmacy that was in a Target yesterday to get more meds for my throat. And it was pretty empty, and the shelves were pretty empty, but like our grocery shopping and stuff, I do the phone orders, and then you just drive up and pick it up there, so they like bring it out to your car. And I thought that's probably safer anyway than going in a big crowded store, but because of that, I haven't seen the crazy empty shelves and stuff. Cyclops says, you've done the Naked Truth for 6 years. Oh my gosh. He says, do you have a favorite episode? Mine's on nudity. Do I have a favorite episode of the Naked Truth? I can't believe it's been 6 years. That's crazy. I mean, the very first episodes were my favorite episodes because it was really at a time when I needed them. I started doing the Naked Truth, for those of you who followed me later in my career. I started doing the Naked Truth as a kind of knee-jerk reaction to wanting to talk about video games and technology on the internet and being told that I had to dress or brand myself a certain way so that people believed that I actually knew about and liked these topics I was talking about. And I hated that idea. Now, granted, this was 6 years ago. This was a long time ago, and the industry's changed a bit since then. Now you see like brands like Her Universe, and you see statistics that 50% of gamers are women, and it's a lot more acceptable. But at the time, it was like, well, unless you have rainbow-colored hair and wear glasses and have like a cartilage piercing or another piercing somewhere on your face and only wear graphic t-shirts and jeans, then no one's going to believe that you play video games. And I was like, that is some crap. So I started The Naked Truth to be like, look, I don't need to do anything to myself. This is me just as I am, and I have opinions. And so the first couple episodes are very much me being like, I have opinions. Ha! And so I think I needed those the most. Now I'm at a point in my career where I can have opinions and still be me thoroughly on camera. And maybe The Naked Truth helped to give me that confidence. But now I don't feel like I need The Naked Truth as that kind of vehicle that much anymore. So I don't know. Catnip Ninja says, do you do all your own editing? I do some of my own editing at this point. I used to do all of my own editing, but when I get a brand deal, which is for like a bigger production, like a bigger, more involved type video, then I love to pay my friends who are very talented editors. I have friends that are looking for work, and it's not my favorite part of the process. So if I can give them money to do that part for me, especially if it's a brand video or a branded deal where I'm getting paid a lump sum of money to make that video, I would rather take half of that and give it to a friend to like give me more time to play with Logan or live stream on Twitch or make other videos. And that's just kind of, I feel like you reach a point in your life where you're like, you know what? I don't have to do it all. And that's okay. Now, that being said, when I'm making videos that are not branded videos and I don't have that money to pay my friends, I would never ask any of my friends to work for free because I value what they do. And I just think working for free is crap. I feel like when people don't respect you and what you do, then they ask you to work for free. So then I edit my own stuff out of necessity, but it's not my favorite part of the process. Let's see. Michael King says, I was on in year 5, I think, whatever it was after Between the Sheets. Did you find me from Between the Sheets? That's really funny. That's Josh McCouga is the funniest dude. That was a really funny show. Is he still doing that show? Probably not. He's so busy now. I feel like you're a good sounding point for people. This is from Evan Stevens. For people who have worked from home or telecommuting, do you think telecommuting will really start to ramp up after this crisis? I hope it does. I'm the type of person that's very comfortable telecommuting and working from home whenever possible. But that being said, like, I am lucky enough and I moved out of LA far enough to get a house where I could dedicate the smallest room in the house and make it my own office. So I have a workspace. Like, yes, I'm working from home, but it's not like in my bedroom. Like, I can come in here, I can shut the door, I can focus on what I need to focus on. And I also live in Los Angeles where commuting is at least an hour or more each way. I mean, to my Kingston job, I commute 2.5 hours each way. To my Newegg job, it's about 2 hours each way. And so if I can save those hours out of my day, to me, that's invaluable. And I do think almost everything in a lot of careers can be done remotely. We'll see if this makes people realize that more, because I know companies spend money on office space, and then their workers are losing hours they could be productive for the company by driving. That's the way I see it. But then again, there are people who hate working from home. They can't be productive if they're home. That's why workspaces like WeWork, if you guys have those in your area, where if you're a freelancer but still want that office environment, you can go into WeWork, you get a membership, and use their facilities for conference rooms, for desks, for a communal lunchroom, just to have that feeling and experience. So everybody's different. Let's see. Oh, Bates, Andy, how are you? Just donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Thank you. And says, how do you feel about E3? So I talked about this a little earlier in the stream today, but the TLDR version is, I'm very sad because I love E3 and I have a great time every year, but I completely understand why it was necessary from a medical standpoint. It was probably the right thing to do. I want to say definitely, but I'm not a medical professional. It was probably almost definitely the right thing to do. And from what I was hearing, E3 was shaping up to be real weird this year anyway. So, let's see. Trisha's a troublemaker, says Nadeem. Am I? What am I a troublemaker for? Let's see. I've been here since SourceFed Nerd and was happy you started your own channel, says Rice Christie. Oh, I love your name, by the way, Rice Christie, and thank you. That's so awesome that you've been following that long. That means the world to me. Thank you. Hi, Annex Eden. I hope I said that right. How are you? Oh, Garth McMurray says Josh McCouga's doing a show on History Channel called Eating History. It debuts this month. he and another guy eat old food. He also does movie trivia schmodown now and then. I knew he was doing movie trivia schmodown, but I didn't know about his History Channel show. That's awesome. Yay, so exciting. And you saw him talk about it. Reverend Schmitty says I saw him talk about it on Kind of Funny. It's so funny when I realized, like, I was like, oh, I didn't know Josh knew Greg and the gang, but of course he does, because it's such a small world and we all like the same stuff and we all have that camaraderie of, even though we all do work from our own home studios, we're all colleagues in the sense that we kind of do the same thing for a living in the content creation world. So while everyone else we talk to in our families has no idea what we do, we can talk to each other for that sense of like just being able to commiserate or talk shop or, you know, what are you finding the algorithms doing these days, that kind of thing. And that's really nice to have. Mulan, the premiere was so good. Everyone's like, you're so lucky you actually get to see it, because now people won't get to see it for a while. The live action Mulan I really, really liked. I thought it was really, really good. Super props to Jimmy Wong for your first major movie role. It's so exciting. And he's such a nice guy. I couldn't have happened to a better dude. But I actually really liked it. I loved the animated film Mulan, but I knew going into this that it was a retelling of the same story, not a remake. And as long as you keep that in your mind, I think you'll really like it. Josh is on History Channel now? No way, says Michael King. I know, it's so exciting. Let's see. Catnip Ninja says, would you ever consider one of the Naked Army / Dragon Riders edit in exchange for giving them credit? I'm sure there are a lot of the Army who would like to get their name out there and get a boost. So actually, I have had members of the community help me edit before, and I would never do it for free or just for credit, because like I said earlier, I believe that your work should be valued. And even when you're first starting out, even if you don't value your career enough to charge for it, other people should. And you should. And it's the only way you learn. You can't pay your rent and exposure or credit. And so I always believe that there should be a trade of something. So, like, I don't mind. I've done stuff before where I've, like, modeled for photographers for free and they've done a shoot for me for free, but I feel like that's an even trade. So whenever, Lunchaloff, actually, if they're here, Lunchaloff is a member of the community that edited for me for a little bit way back in the day. And every time, like, he was like, I'll just do it for free for practice. And I was like, nope, I'm sending you money. What's your PayPal? Also, fill out this W-9. So yeah, I would definitely work with members of the community, but I would also pay them. Even if it's like just a like some kind of, you know, not as much as I would pay, say, like a Len. Because Len is a super expensivo professional and I love him and he's so good. So I could do like a starting rate, but I would still pay somebody something. Saraz says, I love your Keyblade. Thank you. I love it too. Let's see. Blade of Ashtaroth says, I'm a newer sub who met your work as Casey from LA by Night. Yay! Hoping you will still continue as a Kindred. I plan to. When they were filming the last season of LA by Night, they called me and asked what my availability was because they filmed it all in like a span of a couple days. And unfortunately, that was during January when I was working like crazy, so I just couldn't make it work. But I definitely plan on coming back as soon as my schedule and their schedule allows. It's awesome. Let's say... Garth McMurray says, question, 10 months from now when people are all having kids from this crisis, how many kids do you think will be named Corona or COVID? I hope that doesn't happen. That's what I'll say. I hope that we have lots of kids. I really hope they're not named Corona or COVID, but that's hilarious. Thank you for making me laugh today. It's so fun. Mal SJ, thank you. You said, I've been following for 4 years and always fun watching The Naked Truth. The topics are just great and insightful. I feel like we always have a pretty good chat. Dave Thompson wants to know if my boobs have grown or shrunk since the video where I clarified, no, I did not get a boob job. LOL. Yeah, I think especially through being a mom and like having Logan and being pregnant, like everybody knows, or I shouldn't say everybody knows because everybody's body is different, but the hormones that go through your body when you're preggo and breastfeeding usually make everything swell up. And then like after that, everything calms back down. So it was interesting to me because I think a lot of people were commenting on the size of my boobs all through that process. And the funnier ones were the ones before I had announced that I was pregnant because everybody thought I got a boob job. And then when I was like, surprise, I'm pregnant. Then everyone was like, oh, not nearly as hot, which I thought was really funny. And then, yeah, I mean, I tried to breastfeed Logan for the first year. I made it really close. And then after I stopped, obviously, like, things all calmed back down, and then everyone was like, she got a reduction. And it's just like, guys, come on. Not to mention your weight fluctuates during that time, and then everything else fluctuates with your weight, and my weight fluctuated a lot. So I would say, no, I have not done anything artificial to my body, but yes, hormones are crazy, and it's almost like your body is taken over by an alien organism when you get pregnant and go through that whole process. Let's see, who else is great? Star Wars History Archives, how are you? Says, when you started this series, I didn't like that you were doing it immediately after you showered, because weren't you ever afraid of catching a cold? I probably should have been, but I live in LA where it's mostly warm, and these studio lights that I use are pretty warm, so I wasn't super worried about it. Sometimes it was cold, though. You should do a studio tour one day, says Tommy Doyle. I have one on this very YouTube channel, and it was from last year, I think, so it's pretty recent, too. Let's see. How's my experience with the new PC bin, Nils Nyquist? It's been really good. I like it. I like it a lot. It's really fun. I could do a new studio tour now that I've upgraded all that stuff. I actually just took pictures of everything to send to Newegg, because they Newegg partners with my Twitch channel, and they wanted to do like a dedicated Newegg website to my setup and my Twitch channel and that kind of stuff, which is really nice of them, but they need pictures and that kind of stuff too. I miss making responses videos to the Naked Truth, says that James Wisdom. Oh, well, we'd love to have you back anytime you want. You can post them in the Discord. That's where we've been doing that. Big Appa, whoa, donated $100 super chat. Ah! Big Appa, that's so nice. Thank you. Holy cannoli. Big Appa says, been enjoying your content since SourceFed and when you started this channel, so just wanted to say thank you for all the fun stuff you do and content you create. This is my first super chat donation. Did you mean to do like $1 and mess up? That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel like we're ordering in Postmates tonight, baby. Thank you, Big Appa. That's very, very kind of you. And I mentioned coronavirus in this video, so now I won't be able to monetize it. So that's perfect. Thank you. And honestly, any donations I get to the YouTube channel or to the Twitch channel go right back into this setup and right back in finding more fun stuff to do for my YouTube or Twitch channels, whether it's new overlays for the Twitch channel or more giveaways or anything like that. So thank you. I really appreciate it. James Wisdom says, haha, as if I have time for making videos, lol. I know, dude, that university is no joke. And that's also how I felt as a new mom. I was like, yeah, you're joking. Me have time to make videos. Let's just say, Big Abba says, no, just thought that was an okay trade for 9 years of entertainment. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's very kind and generous of you. So funny. David Roach says, question, if you could start your own version of SourceFed, who would you get and why? I would probably do a similar thing to how they cast me, Meg, Steve, Jolie, and Elliot in the beginning, which is try to find people, not telling them really what you want to make. Like, put out a casting notice that's super vague and generic, and just try to pick a great Scooby gang of people that are different enough that you'll have all your bases covered of different opinions if they're talking about the news and like hot political stuff, but also that are similar enough that they will probably get along and become friends. Because to me, that's what worked so well about OG SourceFed in the first place, is we had this like Scooby gang, really, of people that were different yet in some ways similar. And I think that that's why that channel was able to have a pretty widespread appeal, because you'd find people that were like, oh, I can't stand this one member of SourceFed, but I like this one a lot, or, you know, whatever, vice versa. I feel like that happened a lot. At least we heard that a lot. But yeah, I would want to find people that don't already have an internet presence and just, you know, talk about the news, but try to talk about it in a way that is entertaining, but that there's no misinformation in. The only thing I'd really do different is at SourceFed, we never had fact checkers. So we were like, well, I hope this is right a lot of times, and getting our information from other information sources. If I were to do it now, because misinformation is such a thing on the internet and people put out misinformation on purpose, I'd want to make sure that any of the sources we were gathering were factual. So I'd want to have like a staff fact checker on board as well. Let's see. Evan Stevens says, I think that would be awesome to do trivia bidet or spelling bikini wax. What's the weirdest online game bit that you've done on a channel? Oh, by far, all the punishments from Head to Head on SourceFed Nerd are the weirdest things I've ever done on a channel. I mean, I had to slap Steve in the face with a fish. I had to make peanut butter and jelly with my face. Like, there were some... I had to do ice pants. Like, there were some real weird ones back in the day for that. Zio Alexo says, hey Trish, question. Have you thought about redoing old Naked Truth videos in live format? I guess I could. That's an interesting way to think of it. My thought was to redo old Naked Truth videos in podcast format, because some brands, and I'm not going to name names, but there have definitely been brands that I was supposed to work with for branded series that then see the Naked Truth and actually don't even watch the video, but like see the thumbnail and see that it's called Naked Truth and wig out, and even after contracts have been signed and everything, like run away screaming because they think that I'm like a webcam girl or something. And so it's actually, the Naked Truth has been kind of bad for my brand overall, even though I'm like, look, if you watch it, it's like this very much believe in yourself and anti-bullying and like wonderful squishy place to hang out. They're not willing to give it a chance. So I thought, if I put it in podcast format, then the video component, I think, is what scares people from a brand perspective. So if I made it a podcast, then that would be a way to keep that content going and revisit it without being necessarily so crazy to the brands. That's the idea. Let's see. Rob K says, what's the story about the giant key in the corner? That's a Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. It's, video game prop replica. Cat Ninja says I should do a series called Misinformation. Oh, I'm sure someone's taken that already, haven't they? That's too good to not be taken. If they relaunch SourceFed, would you return as a full-time member? Probably not. Superfluous satire. I really like my career the way that I formed it now. In 2015, I opened my own production company, and I produce all of the content that I produce for other brands, as well as for my own brand, as well as branded videos, sometimes for companies, all through my production company. And I really love that way that my career has turned out. And, being an entrepreneur and a business owner, it gives me a lot more flexibility to spend time with my family. And if I was full-time on a channel like SourceFed or SourceFed Nerd again, all of that flexibility and freedom would be taken away from me. So I feel like I've kind of evolved my career exactly how I should have over the years, if that makes sense. Omar, no, I would never do a Patreon photo shoot collab with Meg Turney, because her Patreon photo shoots are very spicy and not necessarily where I want to go with my career right now. Let's see. I did eat a spicy wing as a punishment once. You're right. Hey, Topless Topics is here. So I remember your entire channel that you started. Totally. Yeah, your focus is more on hashtag free the nipple and feminism than mine, for sure. Mine's just on, like, being okay, being yourself. The shish pog emote on Twitch is from the moment you got the ice pants. That's hilarious. Is it really, CP? That's hilarious. I knew it was from a video. I didn't know it was that one. Evan Stevens says Lasercorn and Joven's D&D shows have been awesome. Oh my god, so good to know if we're all stuck inside and need stuff to binge. Garth says... question. Many folks like Erica Ishii, Maud Garrett, Sam Basher, DJ Wooldridge, Steve Zaragoza, Roxy Stryer, Josh McCook, etc. have done the movie Trivia Schmodown. Would you ever do it? I've been asked to do it, and I usually chicken out, and that's because I feel like Schmodown is really just a trivia show, or I shouldn't say just a trivia show, a wonderful trivia show, but movie fights, at least you can, like, argue your point, and so even if I'm like, that guy with the hair... I can get past myself in movie fights, and I get really nervous when I'm put on the spot, and I feel like my anxiety would go through the roof on Schmodown, and that they could ask me the most simplistic questions, and I would still brain fart and not know, and I feel like it would just be, like, I feel like I'd have sweaty palms and a crazy heart rate and just not really have fun, and a lot of the content that I make is fun, so Schmodown scares me. That's the short of it, the long and short of it. Let's see. No plans to be at Vidcon this year, Topless Topics. I don't normally go to Vidcon unless I have to. A lot of the people that follow me don't really go to Vidcon anymore. Now, of course, if I heard that, like, a lot of this community was going, then it would be worth me going. But a lot of times I go now, and I feel like my audience base primarily is 18 to 35, and VidCon is still very overrun with like 12 to 18 year olds, which isn't really my demographic. So unless a brand is paying me to go host something there or speak on a panel or do something specifically, I do not go to VidCon. Let's see. What is an aspect of branding that you did not know about before starting your own business? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I feel like branding I understood pretty well because when I went to school for, thank you for the super chat, Curtis Jeremiah. When I went to school for acting, they kind of beat that into our head. Like, it's all about branding. You are what you're selling. You're a marketing professional, but selling you. So make sure your headshot accurately represents who you are and what your brand is. And I feel like I've been hearing that forever. But there are definitely things I learned getting into business, not about branding, about how to run your business. That it's funny because I talk to like Maud Garrett and Naomi Kyle about this all the time, about like the business end of it and like, oh, are you hiring your employees? Where are you finding your employees? Are you taking resumes on LinkedIn? Do you have freelancers for this? What are you doing for taxes? Like all that aspect of it. When you're running your own company and it's a very small company, you can't always afford to outsource those things. So you have to figure out how to do them yourself. And especially in content creation, it's kind of this unknown wild, wild west. We're all relying on information from each other. So there's actually a closed Facebook group of a bunch of us that are content creators in the LA area, just so that we can like pop in and ask each other those types of questions. Does anyone have a good tax accountant that understands this crazy thing we do? Okay, great. Does anyone know where I can rent a studio space for under this budget that's just a big green screen but already has lighting? Great. Does anyone have a good internship recommendation? Or me, I put on there like, I have an intern if anyone wants one. My nephew Max is staying with me for a while and looking to learn, so free intern, come and get him. Because technically I have him interning under my production company, so now I'm just like lending him out to my friends because I feel like the more diverse experience he gets, the better. Unreal Fury says, damn, they postponed production on Batman. Variety just confirmed. Yeah, as far as I'm telling in LA, because I have a lot of friends that work in production, obviously. And for the major companies, almost everyone's suspending production right now just to be safe, which is probably the right thing to do. We'll see what happens. Chuck McIntyre Jr., did you have any post-lump complications? Not yet. Here you can see my scar right here at like the bottom of my ear, and it like wraps around. You can kind of see that right there. Woo. So that's my scar from it. The only other complication is that when I touch my face right here, I can't really feel it. Like if I touch over here, I can feel it. But when I touch over here, it's like burp, burp. And, you know, it feels like when your one hand's numb and you touch your other hand or something like that. It kind of feels like that on my face. But that's it. Let's see. Bum, ba-dum, bum. I enjoyed TwitchCon this year. I went to that. Topless Topics. Let's see. Tommy Doyle says, ever thinking about collaborating with FlickPick or Chris Stuckman in the future? I don't know either of them personally, but I would if they hit me up online. Weirdest fan interaction, Zio Alexo? The weirdest fan interaction for sure. And if you're here right now, let me know. Because I know you still watch my videos. The weirdest fan interaction was when my water broke in the middle of the night. And I went to the hospital to deliver my baby, and I walked in the hospital, like, I don't even think I brushed my teeth. Like, my hair was up in a messy bun because, like, my water just broke. So Nate and I were like, it was like 2 a.m. We're like, get up, get in the car, it's time. You know, we're freaking out. So as I'm, like, with a snail trail of amniotic fluid trailing behind me, walking into the hospital in my pajamas and gross, I hear, Trisha Hershberger? And I was like, oh no. And God bless your heart, my sweet security guard at that hospital had been a fan of SourceFed for years. And it was lovely to see someone that appreciated my work, of course, because it always is. But it was just so funny because I was like, I'm leaking amniotic fluid all over the floor and I just need to get checked in and have this baby. But honestly, it made me laugh so hard. And they say when you're going through labor, what you really need is to laugh. So It was definitely a weird situation because of the timing of it all, but it was very funny and very sweet in a way. Barrow C, thank you for the super chat. Says, did you ever think that DIY and 5 would still be going after all this time? I did not. No, you know what? No, I did not think it would still be going after all this time. But the crew that I work with there are amazing. I love them to death. They're so supportive and wonderful and lovely, and they're all complete professionals. Like all through my pregnancy, they were so sweet. They let me bulk shoot 3 months worth of DIY in 5 content ahead of time so that we wouldn't have to stop production at all, and I could take time home to have the baby and have Logan and everything. And I love them. They're like family at this point, so I'm glad that it's still going. Omar says, very good surgeon. The scar barely is invisible. Happy it worked out. Thank you. Yeah. They did a great job. Everyone likes a battle scar, says Unreal Fury. Let's see. Have I done a topic on Pokemon, says Jensen. No, because I don't really know Pokemon. That's another one that I should be like, my very first Pokemon game and stream it. Beard Day, you guys are all laughing about my water breaking weirdest fan interaction story. It's one of those things where you're like, I can go out of the house and go to my pajamas, like in my pajamas in the middle of the night to like get toothpaste at the grocery store or something, and you're like, but that's the one time that someone will go, I know you from YouTube, and you're like, ugh. And then of course when you're looking really nice and like have your makeup done and feeling good about yourself, then you don't run into anybody that knows you from your work online, or when you're about to deliver a baby. It was very funny. Do I own any pops? A Tommy Doyle, like pop figures? Yes, I own a ton of them. I have a custom me pop figure right there, boop boop, that someone sent me while I was working at SourceFed, and I have a bunch of pops downstairs in my bookcase. Do I ever change my fingernail polish color, says Kaz. Yes, I do. I usually fluctuate between some kind of blue and some kind of purple, because those are my favorites right now. I used to do designs all the time, but I don't got time for that now. I got a kid. But usually it's blue or purple, and my toes are almost always French because I feel like that lasts longer. I can let that go longer. Curtis Jeremiah says, embarrassing moment in high school or college. I think I told this story in the embarrassing moments, Naked Truth. But I had a ton of them because of my bad ankles. I would fall down all the time. But yeah, I remember freshman year of college, my ankle rolled while I was carrying like a tray full of food in the cafeteria. I think it was breakfast, so it was like a bowl of cereal with milk in it and like a thing of orange juice and everything. And I tripped, my ankle rolled, and I went down, and my entire tray just spilled all over me. And it was the morning, so it was like I had classes to go to all day. So then I was like, do I skip my first class to go home and get changed? But yeah, I did it in front of the cafeteria, in front of everybody. And I just stood up and took a bow. Because it's one of those things where you lay on the ground and you're like, no one saw that, right? But you know that everybody saw it. And you can't lay there forever. So you have to get up and do something. I stood up and took a bow. At which point I think I skipped my first class to go back and get showered and changed. Because I was gross and smelled like gross milk for the rest of the day. Let's see. Theo Knight says, let's divide the people. Xbox or PlayStation? PC. That's my answer. If you can afford to have both Xbox and PlayStation, go for it. But I'm definitely a PC gamer and have been for most of my life. I do not match my finger and toenails, Theo Alexo. That's very true. Thomas, does it feel strange to have fans who are nudists? No, not at all. You do you. Be comfortable in your own skin. Let's see. Xbox or PlayStation? Yes, says Curtis Jeremiah. Yeah, I am PC for sure first. And then I would probably say if I had to pick, I'd have a PC and a Switch so that I had something here for my battle station and so that I'd have something to take on the road with me when I need to go on the road. And then, of course, if you can also afford to have an Xbox or a PlayStation, great. I'm really happy that the Microsoft exclusives I can get on PC now, so I don't really need an Xbox. I have an Xbox because I originally got it when the Xbox One's big pitch was like, this will control your whole living room. So I almost use it more as like an entertainment command center. And I have a PlayStation that I rarely ever use except for PlayStation exclusives that come out. And in fact, my cousin's borrowing it for me right now, and I was like, I need it back for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I need it back. Yeah, I don't care for the console Holy Wars either. As long as you're gaming and enjoying yourself. I agree. Rob K says Atari 2600 and Pong. Yeah, this community is really nice. Theo Knight says, this wasn't the outcome I was expecting. Everybody's really nice here, and we all get along. And I think in the grand, spirit, I should say, of the Naked Truth, where a lot of times we do discuss tough topics. And, everybody here has always been really good about voicing your opinion in a respectful way. So even if we disagree with each other, that's okay. We can disagree with each other, and we can have intelligent conversation about it. Without shooting each other down or reducing ourselves to personal attacks. And that's one of the things I've always loved about this community. So thank you. And it's something that I see very often in the Dragon Rider community as well over on Twitch, which is my Twitch community for those of you who are not Twitch people. It's really, really nice, and it's really, really lovely. Tommy says, you should say I need it back for Last of Us 2. Maybe that's what I should be. That's what I meant. Garth says you prefer PC over consoles, but do you ever like to find an arcade and play old arcade games? Hell yes. Anytime I see a Turtles in Time Machine, I'm like, let's do it. Faux show. CP says, imagine having a nice intellectual discussion in 2020. Lol. I know. Honestly, it's part of the reason why I've stayed away from the more controversial topics in 2019 and 2020 specifically, because people get so heated. I don't know that people online are capable of having a conversation without getting really upset. And I say, this community would be the exception if anyone could be. But people are so heightened emotions and divisive and really quite horrible to each other about it now that I only have those conversations with people that I super duper know personally and trust. And like, they're the people that you're like, even if I did something horrible, they would forgive me. Those are the people I feel comfortable having those conversations with. But it's really hard to do that stuff now. Even Evan Stevens says, I've always enjoyed the social discourse both here and on Twitch. Yes, I agree. And anyway, guys, we have been live for quite some time. And I love that we're going live this long. It's like 52 minutes. Holy cannoli. And yeah, just hanging out. But I'm going to have to wrap it up pretty soon because little man might be getting up from nap soon. And I have to be up and dressed to get my little man. So I'll do one more question. Let's see. I have Annexeden says, what was your first PC game? Probably Zork. Old school Zork. And here's another one. Poet Driver says, if and when Maud does Fungeons and Flagons next season going, what are the chances of you being one of the players, not just a quest spot? If I can make it work with my schedule, Maud and I have definitely talked about it before, so we'll see. Catnip Ninja gave a super chat, thank you so much, and says anyone who hasn't joined Trisha's Dragon Army on Twitch should check it out. Tons of content and a great community. Thank you for that plug, Catnip Ninja. Yes, the Twitch community is lovely, and I have a lot of like really fun stuff going on there where you can get personal one-on-one videos or hangouts or suggest games or get nerdy goodies for my personal collection because I have too much stuff and I'd rather it goes to a good home. So all that kind of stuff is available for free just by hanging out on my Twitch channel. And like I said, I've been putting a lot of time and energy into like the graphic design over there and all sorts of stuff, and I love it so much, and it's my happy place. So please come join me there. If you have a Twitch account or if you've been thinking about making a Twitch account and want, it's all completely free to go over there and hang out. And I do that right now live 3 times a week, sometimes more when I can. And playing a variety of different games, indie games mostly on Tuesday. I do like a fun show where you get to vote in chat. It's really cool. And then Wednesdays are usually with other friends. So like with Maud Garrett or with Steve Zaragoza or with Naomi Kyle, any of those folks or any of my friends from Geek and Sundry. Are my Wednesday streams where we all squad stream or hang out together. And then on Sundays, it's just a grab your coffee and chill with me laid back stream where we play whatever game I'm trying to play through. Right now it's Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And I've always struggled with like, should I put some of those gameplay, like maybe I'll take it down off Twitch and put it on my YouTube channel. But I'm not really sure how to do that with those games. I don't know if it's better to just put like the full 2 or 3 hour stream on YouTube or to try to do a highlight cut and make it funny and put that on YouTube if I have the editing time. I don't really know. I'd love to hear on the Discord what your thoughts are on that, maybe in the gaming channel on the Discord. And if you're not already on the Discord, get in the Discord because that's just a continuation of this community. We have lovely, heartfelt conversations and build each other up when we're feeling down and talk about what's going on in the world of gaming and movies and TV and all of it, and D&D. It's really fun. Thank you, Cyclops, for the super chat. Thank you, D. Shepherd, for the super chat. Give us that chair you want to. This chair? No, I love this chair. This is my new favorite chair. Yes. Okay, I gotta go now too. Discord links is Theonite. It should be in the description of this video. Let me just scroll. Yes, it's in the description of this video. So you just go down in that description and click where it says join our Discord, and that's the way to go. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. You have been awesome. Have a great day. Keep up your social distancing. Wash your hands for a full 20 seconds. Disinfect stuff that looks creepy, and try not to touch your face. She says after she just did this whole thing and probably touched my face like 50 million times. Have a great day. I'll be live on Twitch tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. Okay, bye everybody. Bye, 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 bye.